Live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRUSH.
The Target boycott is over. It's over. Oh, wait. It's not. This just in. What is going on with the boycott of Target? Breaking news that came out today. And my question to you, have you ever boycotted Target? And what would it take? What would it take to change your mind? 651-461-9226. It has been a wild couple of hours in the news where a news alert came to my phone from the Minnesota Star Tribune saying that national activists are letting Target off the hook. There's a new CEO. There were conversations. After 1 year, these national activists said, you know what? Like, we've gotten what we're going to get. I am someone who is very skeptical of the boycott at first because, let's be real, you know me at this point. I am skeptical of activism. And I also will say that I am proven wrong at times. Not always, but at times. And in this case, man, the Target boycott really stuck. And I have theories as to why this Target boycott was effective, at least why it hurt Target. Maybe you have different views on the effectiveness of this at 651-461-9226. I think Target set itself up by being so outspoken on social issues. And we all can have different opinions on social issues, but to me, when I go, to buy shampoo and underwear and go for the, baby shower registry, I'm just looking for convenience. And I guess I don't want you to be affirmatively a bad actor in the world. I want you to give to charities and support your local communities. But I don't particularly care about what your view is on Iran, immigration. I frankly am not even super concerned about your opinions when it comes to kind of DEI issues. I want you to be a good actor. I want to spend my money at places that I think are positive contributors. But, I don't have a litmus test of, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. I just don't. Right now, live in downtown Minneapolis in front of the Target headquarters, a number of Minneapolis people who started this national boycott against Target are speaking, saying, I don't know what these national losers are talking about. This thing is still going on. It's one of the problems when you have, you're trying to coordinate an effort, you're trying to coordinate a message. I think the Target boycott was more effective than many other boycotts because Target did present itself as socially progressive. And frankly, I think that has proven to be a mistake because I don't think anybody would argue that Walmart is more progressive. So if you're an activist, if you're on the left wing and you're disappointed in Target, where do you go? Amazon? Head of Amazon is kissing up to Donald Trump. Walmart? Don't think they have a reputation. Amazon? Same bit. I don't know. Where do you go? What are your options? But the reality is Target was outspoken. Those other places weren't. And so maybe you're less disappointed by somebody who never got the goodwill that Target got. Texters responding at 651-461-9226. And I'll say I did not boycott. I've never boycotted. My shopping at Target has not changed at all. I still shop. There. I personally believe in kind of weighing competing factors here. And when Target sort of said, like, hey, we're going to roll back a little bit on our DEI commitments, or we're not going to be reporting it, or we're not going to make as much of a big deal out of it. It was sort of this mishmash of messaging, right? And I thought, I'm like, but I'm not going to punish a local business that it's one of the biggest employers in the state of Minnesota. It's one of our biggest corporate employers in downtown Minneapolis. To me, I think supporting that is more important. So I didn't make any changes. But the reality is Target's new CEO has even said, yeah, one of the factors in our decline in sales over the last year was this boycott. So I think the boycott has been effective in punching Target where it matters most, which is revenue. Greg is in Minnetonka, the CCO Talk and Text line. Greg, did you change your shopping or anything like that?
No, I didn't change at all. In fact, I kind of think these folks that are so willing to protest like that, doesn't matter really who it is so much, but are they willing to see 10,000 people in Minneapolis lose their job, and then another 10, 20,000 across the country lose their job, and a bunch of buildings sitting empty? I mean,
no.
Think a little big picture, people, right?
Yeah, I mean,
you think of the
I'm with
impact,
you.
the real estate impact, and
right.
the bank impact of it.
Right. And I do think, like, putting some pressure on a limited boycott, a limited time, all right. Like, and they
made your point.
They did it. They made their point. And
move on.
That's at a certain point, do you ever take victory? Or is this just going to be a boycott forever? At which your comment is exactly on, Greg. Like, for me, I weigh things, right? Where you're like, okay, am I disappointed that Target said they were pulling back on DEI? Well, like, I don't care if they're saying, like, we're not going to play the game anymore. We're not going to report all this stuff to all these people who want to tell us if we're good or bad. We're not going to do that. What I want Target to do is, like, you're a store for everybody. You want to make everybody welcome, and you want to give every vendor a chance to live the American dream, which is, innovating a product and being on their shelves. That's what I would have said if I worked there. I wouldn't have gone into all the nitty-gritty about this. You don't have to play the political game. But they did, and they got burned,
Yep, agree.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it. Mike is in Woodbury. Mike, you didn't boycott this, did you?
No, absolutely not. And I'm not going to, abide by such meaningless matters or whatever that really don't bear any relevance to me personally. Because if I'm going to go into Target to get some that I need that I can't find anywhere else, I'm going to go in there, and I'm not going to let these other people, just because they're appalled at what Target's agenda is turning out to be, that's on them. Personally, that should not affect me or anyone else, whatever the situation may be. And if I have to go in there and get grooming supplies, like I said, shave cream, or if I get food like pasta sauce or whatever, I'm going to go in there. And if the other ones, want to go somewhere else, well, then so be it. Let them, you know what I mean?
Organizers said it really worked. Organizers on the national level said that foot traffic and digital sales had each dropped more than 9%. Sales transactions are down. Target, I do think I was surprised. I didn't think it was going to make an impact, but I do think
neither did I. But
I think it's without question, right? Like, it did make an impact, but
absolutely.
At a certain point, do you ever take a win? Do you ever say, like, hey, that old CEO is out, the new CEO is talking with us, seems to, I don't know, at a certain point you got to take the win, right?
Well, no, depending on the level of the circumstances, but nonetheless, I don't personally think it's going to really change anything dramatic for the better or worse, in the long run.
Yeah.
Target is still Target, and I still am going to be a shopper whenever I go because there's 2 Targets in Woodbury. So
yeah, the
one is
convenience.
within less.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. 651-461-9226. National boycott leaders have said it's over. Locally, the local leaders are saying right now in a live news conference, no, we're not done. Where are you on this? 651-461-9226. Tons of text coming in. We'll talk about it as we continue here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Are you somebody who's thinking about selling your house? I don't know. I think a lot of us, you're like, man, what's my house worth? What could I get for my home right now? Chris Lindahl would love to have a conversation with you. The Arms Out real estate agent. You know Chris Lindahl from billboards all over the Twin Cities. You may have seen him traveling around the Twin Cities delivering big red checks. The big red check is in demand right now, not only for people who have a need for speed. You're trying to maybe get rid of a house that you inherited, or maybe you have a marital change, or you have to move for a job. All sorts of reasons why you might want to sell a house and get out. And the guaranteed cash offer is money in your pocket, and it's money for you. The old way of selling a house is broken. Chris Lindahl, I've known him a long time. He's a Minnesota guy. He's a friend of mine. Generous, kind, innovative. And that innovation has led to a massive change in the way people are using the guaranteed cash offer. Chris has told me, as he's been delivering big red checks all over the Twin Cities, that more and more people are saying yes to a guaranteed cash offer, not because they're in some sort of emergency situation. It's because the old way of selling a house is broken. It's because they want to be out. They want to be done. They don't want the hassles. They don't want the uncertainty. They don't want somebody flaking out at the last minute and freaking out at the home inspection saying, and then you got to start over. ChrisLindahl.com. Go to the website right now. At the top of the page, there's a button to click to get a free smart seller guide. Be smart. Get the information. No obligation. Man, you may be saying yes to a big red check and saying yes at ChrisLindahl.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Call 855-554-3338 or stop by our locations in Roseville, Maple Grove, Burnsville, and Woodbury.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Step into pain relief.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
The ride home deserves better conversation. Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
National leaders of the Target boycott are saying victory. We've done it for a year. We've cost Target billions of dollars. There's a new CEO in charge. We will take the win. The quote from one of the faith leaders, Jamal Bryant, says, "We are claiming victory. We've got to celebrate small steps." Target said it is pleased to be moving forward and will continue showing up as trusted neighbors while delivering results for team members, guests, and communities. However, right now, Nikema Levy-Armstrong is saying this thing's going to continue. Like, we're not done. We're not done with the boycott. We're mad about diversity initiatives being scaled back. were mad about the fact that Target didn't fulfill a commitment to invest $2 billion in black-owned businesses that was made after the murder of George Floyd. Target now saying it will complete that goal this year. But Nikema Levy-Armstrong is saying right now, like, no, we're continuing. I'm asking if you've boycotted, where you're at on this, and lots of texts and calls coming in. One texter saying Target is reaping the downside of making themselves out to be such an example of DEI responsiveness. Now that's impacting them in the opposite way. Another texter, boycotters will claim a win, but is it really them? With the slowdown in the economy and rising retail prices, consumers historically move to lower-cost options like Walmart and the dollar store. How much has that been the main impact? I think the fact that you get the CEO of Target acknowledging that it had an impact, but certainly activists are going to say we cost Target $12 billion, even if the real number is $500 million. Like, holy crap, that's a lot of impact. That's a lot of money, right? So, yes, I do think it's always really difficult to get your arms around what the impact is. Let's go to John in Prescott, Wisconsin. John, thanks for listening. You're on CCO. Go ahead.
Hi, howdy. My brother is gay, and I was just going to say how, the family was felt a little guilty going because they're big donators to super PACs, conservative super PACs. But at the end of the day, we decided that morals stop at good chicken. So, if the product's good, it's hard to say no.
This is the Chick-fil-A sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Your cell phone's breaking up a little bit, John, so I just wanted to make clear what you're talking about there. But yeah, it is that scenario where your ideals versus the product, sometimes it's a difficult one for people, right?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Very good.
Yeah, if it's good chicken.
If it's good, you're going to get it. Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Steve's on CCO. Steve, go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, you were talking about the boycott on Target.
Right.
I drive truck. I deliver to a Target distribution center down in Cedar Falls, Iowa, every Tuesday. I'm on my way back from there right now. But several months ago, plant-wide, they had a $5,000 per year decrease in their salary, which did not make them very happy. So my usual 2 to 4 hour delivery time went from 4 to 8 hours. So if anybody's thinking that they're costing Target money, they're not. They're costing the American public money.
It's the employees who end up paying the price, right?
Well, it's the American public.
How do you figure? What do you mean?
Well, because they're slowing down, so everybody, it's costing more money to take delivery of that product and to load it out to their stores. And the trucking industry, I mean, we're laid over there and there's several hundred truckers in there every day.
Makes sense.
And that doubles our time off the road.
It's the ripple effect on to you, on to other people. It's hurting people, is your perspective.
Well, Target isn't going to lose any money, I don't think. Target's they probably lost
shareholder,
a little bit
right?
On their
You're right.
bottom line.
Yeah,
but the Americans, they're gonna charge more. They're gonna make that money back.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I get where Steve is coming from. Like, I mean, Target does lose money. It's a publicly traded company, so it's not the same as like Dan Cook's House of Pancakes, where like it comes out of Dan's bottom line. I don't think it's also as simple as like Target is just going to make up the money. They're not. Their revenues were down quite a bit. So, Travis, you're on CCO. Target boycott. Did you boycott at all? Where are you at on this?
No, I did not. And as an African American, it was a hard decision, but I decided not to boycott Target because I've been working in the nonprofit world for about 20 years, and I watched the corporate benevolence of Target from Toys R Tots. I watched how many kids they employed. Kids had their first job at Target. So I couldn't just turn on them for that. I think Target is a great community person. I don't have any personal ties to Target, but I just thought that for it to do what it did, even after the stores got burned, during George Floyd, they still gave. They've always given.
Yeah, and they built that Lake Street. They built that Lake Street store back. I think fast. Well, look at the police precinct that is still boarded up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I thought that if you were local, how could you boycott Target? Because they've been friends with the community of the less fortunate for a long time. So I was like, I just was confused, and I decided to just do what I wanted to do, which was to still patronize Target because I thought they were a great community contributor to people who just didn't have it. So just don't think
Isn't that interesting, Travis?
Yes.
It's such a good call because, I have a friend who owns a business. He's black in Minneapolis. Yeah. His product is on the shelf at Target. And you do have
I know him too.
You know Houston. So
yes, I've been knowing him since he was a young man. Yep, I've mentored a lot of young
So you
people.
had to weigh that. You had to weigh that.
Yeah.
Like you want to stand up for what's right in the bigger picture, but also like be realistic about, hey, there's a lot of, they took a chance on me or they helped out my organization or whatever the case may be.
I'm also so shocked that if you've been in Minnesota for more than 10 years that you could just turn on them that quickly when you know their impact in the communities of color and how much they've contributed. Name another store who has contributed as much as they have during those times. I just don't know. So personally, that was my decision.
Really appreciate it. Thanks, Travis. I mean, the other side of that is knowing because you're local, because you know that legacy, the perceived kind of turning your back on black people, on gay people, I think it hurt more. And so I do understand why local people felt that hurt more. I think on a practical level, it's always the challenge, right? When do you take the win? When did you get enough that you take the win? Or when do you say, you know what, this is just words. Like what they're saying is not really a formative change. I don't know. That is one of the challenges of activism. How do you take the win? We have this sort of culture where people, and we see this in city politics all the time, where people are like, here's my 10 demands. And I just think it's like, screw you, first of all, your 10 demands. But if you don't have measurable things where you can say like, all right, we move the needle, then what are you doing? Texter says it'll take a while before both sides trust Target again. I guess it's the cost of being so political or sticking your neck in places perhaps it doesn't belong. Another texter says, I haven't been back to Target yet. My issue with them was the obvious duplicity. They use community involvement and inclusion as an obvious marketing tool, and they showed their true face when they dropped it like a hot potato. The flip side is that are you punishing our own community? If you're a local activist, are you punishing your neighbors who work there, your neighbors who sell there? It's tricky. It's complicated stuff. We reached out to Nikema Levy-Armstrong. We'll have her on and she's been emailing me, but she had her news conference that happened just live right now. So couple hours left in the show. We'll see if she joins us. Let's break. In a minute, Tracy Perlman. Tracy's going to weigh in on this new poll that shows 1/3 of Gen Z men think that wives should obey their husbands. I've been married a long time. And if you want to know who obeys who, I think you all can guess. Drive Time back in a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO. To all the fans who are regular users of the voice message feature on the Odyssey app,
if you're going to be critical on both ends.
We say you're welcome.
I am absolutely sick of paying more and more, outreaching inflation by far.
Now, to those of you who haven't tried it yet, we ask, What are you waiting for?
We should definitely be able to charge the ICE agent who shot and killed Renee Good.
Flip the microphone right next to the Listen Live button and record your thoughts.
Hey, who is ever on the radio right now? What a buffoon.
Whatever you want.
Thought I would try out this voice messaging on Odyssey.
For News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is an important message for anyone struggling with $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or personal loans. Due to ongoing inflation, job loss, and the rising cost of living, many Americans are facing overwhelming credit card balances. If you're drowning in credit card debt, you may qualify for powerful debt relief options currently being offered by National Debt Relief that can significantly reduce what you owe. You don't have to declare bankruptcy or take out a debt consolidation loan. You could qualify for this debt relief option and only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe. Act now to see if you qualify. With thousands of 5-star reviews online and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, National Debt Relief has helped over 1 million consumers with their debt that qualified for this relief option.
We're here in plenty of time. We hadn't even gotten to the break yet.
Call the Debt Reduction Hotline now. Dial 800-428-5757. 800-428-5757. That's 800-428-5757.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience.
It's just a shame you can't be in studio with
I
us because
started
we've got a mice
using them.
problem.
I think this is my third
Oh,
order. I heard
shoot.
Jordana on
Sorry.
WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old, so.
And those Sleep Night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those Sleep Night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Linda's Construction, lindasconstruction.com. Eastbound 394, a bit slow as you come in from Penn Avenue to 94. Traffic along 94 westbound, making way through Maple Grove. Not too bad right now between Hemlock Lane heading up toward County Road 30. On the south side of Metro 494, flowing nicely both directions between Cedar Avenue and 169. Get ready for the season ahead with clog-free Leaf Guard brand gutters, now with free installation this March. Go to lindasconstruction.com. Sherry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Washburn-McCreevy Funeral Chapels and Cremation Services has been providing compassionate and personalized service for over 160 years. Honor your loved one and ensure your own wishes are met. Call 612-377-2203 or visit washburnmccreevy.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Well, happy Funeral Directors and Morticians Day to our friend Bill McCreevy. Today's National Morticians Day. Washburn-McCreevy Funeral, Cremation, and Pre-Planning Services. Bringing us Chris Schaefer.
We chilled tonight under a partly cloudy sky, falling back to 26. Clouds increase tomorrow. Storm system number 2 arrives, bringing rain that'll eventually change over to snow. Should warm to 46 in the afternoon. The heaviest snow is going to fall across northern Minnesota, 4 to 6 inches, maybe more over the Arrowhead. Friday, it will be sunshine again, but very windy and pretty raw. Only a high of 37 with that northwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll keep you updated on that possible storm this weekend. I do believe there will be snow, just not sure how much and where at this point.
We are under a high wind watch right now. 11 mile an hour is it in Minneapolis, gusting up to 18. 40 degrees on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
You are worth the price of admission every single day because I have no bleeping idea what you are capable of saying.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, it's Tracy Perlman time. Tracy, did you get much snow overnight at
We got
the
a
castle?
little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't take out my ruler, but it was sizable.
I stepped in it and there was a footprint.
That's sizable?
Sure. More than a dusting.
I guess. I would say I was back in Maple Grove today.
Oh,
I like
welcome.
to visit. The summer home. I go visit the summer home periodically, and snow out there. It was about I don't know, half an inch. Not that much.
Yeah.
Can't
Sizable.
trust. Sizable. God. All right, I'm not.
I don't. You know what? I'm not Chris Schaefer.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
pretend to be.
That's why you got out of the local news, right?
And I don't own a ruler, so I was not able to check my.
You don't
snow
own
depth.
a ruler?
No, I have a measuring tape.
You don't have like the standard 12-inch like school, and then you also don't have a yardstick, like a state fair yardstick? Really?
No.
Huh. Is that is that like an unusual thing to have? Dan, do you have a ruler, right?
I do have a ruler. I do not have a yardstick.
Do you have a fly swatter?
Do you have a fly swatter?
I do not.
Okay. I do.
I do
That's
not
what
have a fly
rolled up magazines.
I have one that says SWAT this fall on CBS from when the show was new. Come on, that is a fantastic promo item.
That's pretty good merch. I don't have. What do you think is more unusual? To not have a ruler or to not have a fly swatter?
Obviously, to not have a fly swatter. How do you kill the flies in your house, Dan?
I grab a magazine, roll it up, and give it a go whack.
Same.
Ooh.
You don't subscribe to magazines, or you don't have any?
No, I'm not gonna. They're expensive. I'm not gonna roll up my Minnesota Monthly. And start hitting things with it.
I make sure that
artwork on the cover.
One of the ones with Jason on the cover.
Not when it's Jason's article.
So I can hit the fly with Jason.
I know who butters my bread, Jason. Don't you
bread
worry.
your butter. Tracy Perlman with us. I wanted a fly swatter, and my wife would not allow it because she found it disgusting that you would have like something in your house that you use to kill a bug. And then you just hang it on a hook inside like your cookie sheet.
It goes in the cupboard.
Right, it goes in the cupboard.
Duh, in the pantry.
Now, I have the yardstick because I like to take a snow measurement.
You like to take a patio pic,
I like a patio pic.
You love a patio pic.
Nothing better than you need to take multiple readings. If you're calling in your snow report with just one reading, get out of here.
Correct. You could have taken one in in Rice Park.
True. That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, I do not have a fly swatter because my wife is in charge of my life, which runs contrary to what Gen Z men apparently think.
Yeah.
A new survey looking at, this is not just like an internet joke survey. It's 23,000 adults in 29 different countries, including about 1,000 for the United States. So it's all over the world. We understand there are different cultural standards.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think there is this sort of moment going on right now where younger men and younger women are embracing sort of old school stuff. A third of Gen Z men believe that the wife should, quote, obey her husband. Tracy Perlman, your thoughts?
I have seen the trad wife trend, so like traditional on the social medias, they call them trad wives, and I am not at all surprised. I'm actually surprised this number is as low as it is.
Really?
Only because I think for so long, like women of my generation and around my generation have been like independent, right? Like, we have jobs, we're making money, we are the breadwinners, and we're doing all the things. You're raising the wives, you're raising you're building a business, you're doing all of that. But then we get tired, Jason.
Yeah.
And I think there's this sign of like, fine, you want to go be a traditional man? Fine, you go do it. You bring home the bacon, I will cook it up for you. Please let me put my feet up.
Yeah.
I will clean a house. You tell me what to do. I don't want to do it. So I do know that there are some of those traditional roles that fall in. Yeah. I'm curious what the extent of obey is. Don't control my life, but you can make some decisions for me. I make decisions all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, I do understand. Like, culture is always this sort of pendulum, right? Where it's like, okay, there's a perception that it's like it's gone too far towards like the woke culture.
Yeah.
And I do, I'm someone who speaks out in favor of marriage. I do think marriage is, it's good for the people involved. It's good for society. It's good for kids. Marriage, now, it doesn't mean every marriage is good, but it means that I do think old school monogamy marriage is good. This used to not be a controversial statement, but maybe over the last 10 years, I think people will be like, well, are you saying that a single... No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, all things being equal, you would prefer two parents to one or to zero, right? Like, so I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I think a lot about, like you were saying with that, it's just that, what does a traditional role mean? And I don't want to set people back. I like traditional roles in relationships. I like when there's somebody who is like, I love coming home for myself, making dinner for me and my partner. Love doing that. I love that he can come over, hang out on the couch, watch whatever. It's probably going to be sports. We can do that together. I can make dinner, clean up. I enjoy doing that. That's part of my love languages. It's part of how I like to treat people. So I enjoy that. Is that more traditional? Absolutely. Does that mean I'm obeying him? I don't think so. Now, if he's demanding that and I don't want to, I think that's a different issue.
That's a difference.
So that's why I'm curious about the obey.
What they mean.
What they mean by obey.
It is this return to more traditional gender roles that people are talking about, right? And it's this idea that a man is a man, a woman's a woman. We don't need to be so equivocal about it. But the Gen Z participants in this survey, 57% agreed that we have gone so far in promoting women's equality that we are discriminating against men. 59% said men are expected to do too much to support equality. And when you ask baby boomer men, the numbers are way lower. And 31% of Gen Z men say a wife should always obey her husband. Only 13% of baby boomers agree with that. So it is a big swing, I think. And maybe it's just the Gen Zers, like, they're not married, so they don't really know what they're talking about yet. I don't know.
Right. Or the way that they're thinking about their relationships is so different. I can open my own door, but I always appreciate it when somebody else opens it for me. So if you're going to be paying for the groceries that I'm making dinner with, or if you're going to be paying for the meal and opening the door, I would think that there is some sort of a cultural contract that comes with that. That maybe is, hey, okay, if I'm going to be making dinner and cleaning the house, then you are going to be paying the bills and doing some of that stuff. And I think every relationship, man or woman, whatever it is, has those, Jason, maybe if Alyssa's going to be doing all the cooking and all that stuff, maybe you're doing the laundry. Maybe you're making sure that the boys had their homework done and you're taking care of that so she can worry about other things in the house. In some of those more traditional roles.
Should we reach out to Alyssa and see what she says that I do for our family? Oh, we're short on time.
Oh, shoot. We can't get a hold of her.
Gosh, yeah,
she's busy working.
That's right. That's right. All right, stand by. Tracy Perlman with us. Lots of texts on the fly swatters. So you can text in at 651-461-9227.
Team Fly Swatter.
Or on the men want their wives to obey them. In a minute, we're talking about biopics. I like a biopic. I like a biopic. Who would you like to see a life story, like a movie about? So you can text in on that as well. Tracy will weigh in as we have a little bit of news about a new biopic that's in the work. We'll talk about that in just a minute here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
I want you to make an appointment to see a dermatologist, and I would love it if you would go see my dermatologist, Dr. Mohiba Tureen. It is Jason here for Tureen Dermatology. They are the the absolute leaders in the Twin Cities when it comes to skincare. Dr. Mohiba Tareen. I was just talking to a friend today about Mohiba. She's an awesome woman. 10 different clinics in every corner of the metro area, including in Hudson, Wisconsin. I go to their flagship location in Roseville. And one of the things that Tareen does that's so cool is they guarantee that you can get in within 3 weeks. And I got a text message yesterday from one of our listeners who just took their son to Tareen Dermatology, and they got a next day location. I think they went to Monticello. They went to the Monticello location. I mean, this is not just some nonsense that they're saying. It is legit. They keep room on the books to make sure that you can get in immediately. So if you have a skin kind of a mark or a mole that flared up, Alyssa had one just the other day and was like, what's going on? She called the one number that gets you to all of these locations, 651-633-6883. She got an appointment next day in Roseville. You can request an appointment online, but you shouldn't be putting this stuff off. Skin care, skin cancer, your skin is just way too important. Go see the experts. Go see Tareen, Tareen, TareenDermatology.com.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today. 1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS4KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to cars4kids.org now or call 877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS for kids. KARS, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS for kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down, so I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to mnestatelaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
West 94 slows into Minneapolis as you come in from Riverside. North 169 congested Rockford Road to I-94. If you're over to the west, 494 northbound looking pretty good from Highway 7 all the way up to Bass Lake Road. The USPS Ground Advantage reliable route is 212 westbound, rolling along, no problems there. 169 heading out to Highway 41. Joey Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck,
and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by JTR Roofing. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 26. Tomorrow, rain, maybe snow by tomorrow night. High is 26. The low is 30. So we'll be right on that precipice during drive time tomorrow. Friday, partly cloudy and windy. 37 the high. We're keeping an eye out for possible heavy snow Saturday night into Sunday. False, fake, spring. We didn't fall for it. We know better. Right now, it's 40 degrees on CCM.
Jason DeRusha.
I have never really been a fan of his, but the truth of the matter is the guy really does care. My opinion has completely changed about the guy.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tracy, the texters are with Alyssa on the fly swatter. I agree with Alyssa. Fly swatters are absolutely disgusting.
Okay. All right.
Another texter with you. I still use the fly swatter I got for a wedding shower.
Oh.
53 years ago. What?
Happy marriage. I love that. That's.
You know, I'm trying to think like the weirdest gift that I got at my wedding. I would think like a fly swatter would certainly, that would be up there, right?
I wonder if there's a story with that.
With a fly swatter? Like there was some sort of.
Like an inside joke? Like, did you go over for a barbecue and there was like one fly that just wanted to eat dinner with you?
We have a bit of a mouse issue here. We're an old building.
Mm-hmm.
So they're working on it. They're on it. Where are you on? You're in not a very old building. You're at the.
We're in a 25-year-old building.
If you listen to the lobbying, I mean, it's about to fall down. It's decrepit.
We have a lot of improvements that I think will make a big impact on when you come to future hockey games and concerts and other events on our campus.
Oh, that was very well said.
Thank you.
I agree. I mean, I'm in favor, right? And could we give St. Paul something? Like, we can't just give all the money to the Minneapolis Stadium.
Also, I mean, there are the political statements I could make with this that like when the arena does well, we know that the businesses do well and the city does well.
Right.
But I think, when you think about going to an event, when you're in, it's like going to a movie theater. When you're in a nicer place, you enjoy it more. You want to go there. So that's the experience that we want to bring to our fans and make those updates.
It was hopping. I was at a West 7th. I was at Parlor last night on West 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the Wild game.
It was a fun game. Holy moly, was that a fun game.
Right? But then I left. Here's the thing. How about I make a deal with you guys? I will be a strong advocate for, renovations at Grand Casino Arena.
Yeah.
If you could give me some sort of pass where I wouldn't get stuck in traffic, like when everybody's leaving the Wild game, could we make a deal?
Could you walk?
I suppose I could have walked, but I was coming back. It doesn't matter.
We have a Skyway system. I'll show you how it works.
Yeah, I get lost in the Skyway.
No, it goes right to where you are.
Okay. All right.
I'll take you.
Tracy will give me a tour of my own neighborhood.
And anybody else who wants to come to our events.
All right. So there's going to be a Bon Jovi biopic.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope my seminal interview with John Bon Jovi will be a part of this.
Oh, I think it absolutely will.
From the good question that I did with John Bon Jovi back in the day. But it did get us thinking a little bit about who we would like to see, like, have that sort of dramatic film version of their life. Who would you like the biopic treatment?
Hear me out. Al Franken.
Ooh.
You have a comedian. You have a scholar. You have a Oscar award-winning screenwriter, right? He wrote When a Man Loves a Woman, won an Oscar for that. He was a politician. He fell from grace. Now he's back. He has a podcast. I just think the ups and downs of all of that mixed in with like personal drama and all, I think would be super interesting.
From the Saturday Night Live era through the Senate, through the scandal.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Dan, is there anybody you would like to see their life story dramatized in film?
Joe Mauer.
The Joe Mauer story. Boy,
Cute.
that'd be a...
Cute.
There's no
Lots of ice cream, it'd be great.
What if it were...
Bilateral leg weakness.
Wouldn't it be great if you could dramatize, though, the Joe Mauer story? And, like, his public persona was boring and vanilla, but the real man.
But behind the scenes.
Right? Like, now I'm in.
People can't know he's a rager.
Wouldn't that be amazing? That'd be amazing. Bob Barker. I would like the Bob Barker story. There's got to be some deep, dark...
How about you, Jason? Minnesota's biggest celebrity.
Snooze fest. Thanks, Tracy.
Bye.
News is next.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enables buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Taking one of those instant cash offers for your home is easy, but if you take it, you're missing out on tens of thousands of dollars. Hi, it's Vanita. It's easy to learn what your home is worth. The John Schuster Group with Coldwell Banker Realty will tell you for free online in seconds. Chances are your home is worth more than those instant offers. The Good Neighbor agent can help you sell it fast for way more money. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/groundadvantage to learn more.
Proud to be the voice of the Twin Cities, Minnesota, and the Upper Midwest. This is News Talk 830 WCCO, 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says he will tap the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to try to bring prices down because of the war with Iran. AAA says the national average for a gallon of regular unleaded is $3.59. That is up just over 60 cents since the war started. For Atlanta rideshare driver Ian Marin,
I was putting the mid-range at $3.02 and now is almost at $4, making us work more.
Patrick DeHaan is head of petroleum analysis for GasBuddy.
It's really what the market is looking for is to offset the 20 million barrels a day of oil that would be flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. And that 400 million barrels sounds significant, but if the rate of release is only 1 to 2 million barrels a day, we're still at a significant deficit in a market that's hungry for crude oil.
The president has said again that the war will end soon whenever he decides it should, as Iran says it's ready for a long-term war of attrition that will destroy the entire American economy. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb in Doha, Qatar.
Qatar has been defending itself. Every few hours or so we hear the sound of loud explosions, which are essentially missile intercepts when it comes to Iranian missiles or Iranian drones. And I have to tell you, even though Iran has been degraded militarily, very clearly so, those strikes are still relatively frequent.
The State Department says fewer Americans are asking for help to leave the Middle East. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
A statement says charter flights have been leaving the region with empty seats, and with commercial flights becoming more available, the State Department is scaling down the number of seats available on its flights as demand has dropped significantly. Over 43,000 Americans have returned from the Middle East since the fighting began, using a variety of means.
2 people are dead after 4 suspected tornadoes touched down across Illinois and northwest Indiana last night. Lake Township, Indiana Fire Department spokesperson Lori Postma.
A large tornado hit our community, and it hit us hard.
Also hard hit was Kankakee, Illinois. National Weather Service crews are surveying damage today. Numerous tornado watches have been issued through this evening from Pittsburgh down to Houston. As political leaders feud over Department of Homeland Security funding related to immigration policies, the funding shutdown for TSA workers at airports is the 3rd time they will not be paid on time in recent months. Angela Grana is Regional VP of the American Federation of Government Employees.
covering those who man security lines at Denver International Airport.
To have the stress of not getting a paycheck, it's not fair. It's not fair for us. We seem to be the light switch, turn us on, turn us off, turn us on, turn us off. We're not robots. We do have an important job.
This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Overcast and 38 at 4:03. I'm Taylor Rivera. This hour's top story, some Vikings news.
Running back Aaron Jones is staying put. The team initially planned to cut ties with Jones, but instead have brought him back on a restructured contract that lowers his base salary to $5.5 million. The upcoming season will be Jones's third with Minnesota.
That's WCCO's Ari Bergeron. A federal judge has ruled that agents here in Minnesota detain people solely on the basis of their race during Operation Metro Surge at least 23 times. Judge Eric Trostrud, in his ruling, called the evidence troubling and compelling. The case brought by the American Civil Liberties Union of Minnesota detailed 34 cases in which citizens and legal migrants claim they were victims of racial profiling. While he says ICE officers made a few of those stops based on reasonable evidence, Trostrud ultimately said that the Department of Homeland Security was working outside the boundaries of the Constitution. The judge, a Trump appointee, stopped short of issuing a restraining order, citing, among other things, the apparent drawdown of the surge. Xcel Energy says about 200 gallons of oil leaked out of the Monticello nuclear generating plant. That leak was discovered yesterday by crews testing a motor which circulates water through the plant for cooling. Xcel says none of the leaking oil reached the Mississippi River. The plant has been shut down for maintenance since late February. A significant snowstorm could make the weekend a tricky one across the Twin Cities. WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer says it appears to be a boom or bust system that will miss the metro to the south.
Not like it's going to appear or not. It's not one of those, but if you've got a pen on your desk, hold it up right now and hold it sideways, horizontally. That's how the snow band is coming in, straight across, not like if you had it vertically and it hit the whole state. So it's a pen thin path of heavy snow. That's why it's going to be hit or miss.
Schaefer says if the system goes over the Twin Cities, between 6 to 10 inches of snow could fall. If it tracks farther south, 1 to 3 inches is expected. Finally, a South Metro food pantry is receiving a record-breaking food donation this morning.
The Open Door in Eagan says 40,000 pounds of shelf-stable food will arrive thanks to a collaboration between America 250 and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Open Door Executive Director Jason Vienna says the hunger battle is a constant challenge across all communities.
But when we have the crises between the shutdown, the immigration enforcement, that puts a lot of pressure on hunger relief because a lot of people who don't normally need food need food. And so that's what we've seen the past 4 months. Thankfully, things seem to be going back towards normal, which means, honestly, we're just slightly behind instead of being completely overwhelmed.
A portion of the food will go to 5 food shelves throughout the South Metro. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 4:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Things a bit slow for South 35E Victoria Street heading down to Highway 13. Crosstown westbound slows, 28th Ave heading out toward Portland Avenue. Traveling East 94 through St. Paul, some slowing. Marion de Mounds Boulevard and East 36. Not too bad of a ride right now between 61 heading out into Stillwater. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Let's take a look at the forecast with WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
Quiet tonight. We'll have a few clouds as we cool back to 26. Now, those clouds are going to increase tomorrow as system number 2 arrives. This one should bring a chance of rain as we warm to 46, eventually changing over to wet snow. The bulk of that snow is going to fall across northern Minnesota, where there are winter storm warnings, several inches possible. Friday, it's going to be very windy. We'll see some sunshine again, but only a high of 37. Still keeping an eye on that possible big storm Saturday night into Sunday.
Right now it's 38 degrees on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Stay smart, stay connected by staying tuned in. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Now, here's Jason DeRUSH.
All right, at the top of the show, we talked about the boycott of Target. That nationally there was conversation, and today an announcement that said the boycott was done. But locally, activists, including Nikema Levy-Armstrong and Jaylani Hussein, had a news conference just within the last hour where they said it most certainly is not over. And joining us now on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline is Nikema Levy-Armstrong and Jaylani Hussein. Nikema and Jaylani, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Nikema, why don't we start with you? What was your reaction when you saw that news alert that the national, some of the people on the national level who have been talking about the boycott and have been talking to Target CEOs said they were going to call a win. They were going to say they got progress, they hurt Target, and they were calling it over?
Well, I don't know if they've lost their minds or what, but they know that even though we're here locally, we are the leaders of the national Target boycott. We launched the boycott on February 1st of 2025, and from the beginning, we said that the Target boycott was indefinite unless and until they reversed their decision to roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion. Because as we all know, in January of 2025, Target was one of the first companies in the nation to capitulate to Donald Trump by announcing their decision to roll back diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as everyone knows, Target is also headquartered here in Minneapolis. So it only made sense for boots on the ground, grassroots Minneapolis organizers to call for a nationwide boycott of Target. As a matter of fact, after George Floyd was killed, Target had shown excellent leadership by announcing their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, they said that they were pledging $2.1 billion towards improving the Black customer shopping experience, increasing their diversity and equity in terms of hiring and promotions, also bringing more Black brands onto the shelves and increasing their supplier diversity network. And so they put forward a series of promises to the community in 2021 in honor of our fight for justice for George Floyd. And so the folks nationally who pretended that the boycott is over have actually been working throughout the year to try to co-opt our work as national boycott leaders. And Jamal Bryant, who has been quoted in a number of articles, he is a so-called pastor from Atlanta. He was one of the people who actually reached out to me after we launched the boycott, saying they wanted to support our efforts nationally. And then the next thing you know, he's announcing a 40-day fast for the faith community to abstain, from shopping at Target beginning in March of 2025. And I said to him, what is the difference between a fast and a boycott? And why is it 40 days? And what are you going to do when the 40 days ends? Because our boycott is indefinite. And he didn't have a response to that, but his response was to hire a publicist to go on CNN and a couple of other shows and basically proclaim that he was the leader of the Target boycott. So that's what we're dealing with here. People who are not connected to our community, who don't have any leadership authority in our community, who did not call for the boycott, but who were trying to co-opt our work, and now who've sold out to Target by claiming the boycott is over when it is very much still alive, still having an impact, and continuing indefinitely.
Do you agree with the assertion from Jamal Bryant that, victory was achieved? His quote is, "We've got to celebrate small steps." The Target said they're happy to move forward. Target said they will fulfill that $2 billion commitment, that investment in black-owned businesses. They said they would finish that this year. Do you agree with his assertion that the boycott got progress and it's enough?
No. Number one, yes, progress has been made, but neither Jamal Bryant nor Target decides when the boycott is over. We, the people, decide when the boycott is over. And the main demand that we made has not been met.
Why do the local, I mean, I understand that Target is here in the community and you guys made the first call for the boycott, but why do you think that you guys should have the say as to whether this is over or not?
Because we call the boycott, and we are the ones who put in the blood, sweat, and tears fighting for our community. How dare someone now who doesn't live in this state, who has nothing to do with our calling of the boycott, try to take over, especially as a male pastor, trying to erase Black women's leadership, which two of us as the original founders of the boycott are Black women, myself and Monique Cullors Doty. And then, of course, there's Jaylani Hussein, who is the third co-founder. So who made Jamal Bryant the person who has the authority to call the boycott when he has nothing to do with it? He co-opted our work. Like, that's not the right question to be asking. The question should be, how dare he try to announce an end to a boycott he didn't start and that he worked to co-opt? We are very much the people who should have a right to call for an end to the boycott, and that is based on our work here in the community with the people. I went to the people on Facebook after Target made the decision that they were going to roll back DEI, and I had a Facebook conversation with people. What do you guys think about this? What should we do? And there was a woman in my comments, a Black woman named Leslie Taylor, who said, we should do a blackout of Target. And I said, I think that's a great idea, but we will turn it into a boycott. And the people in the comments agreed, said they were cutting up their red cards. And then we went from there and putting the press conference together. And it was a nationally covered press conference calling for a nationwide boycott of Target. And we already had started to see results before Jamal Bryant announced a 40-day fast. That makes no sense. That shows you he's not a real organizer. Who calls for a 40-day fast of a company and you're expecting accountability?
Jaylani Hussein is with us as well.
Yep.
Jaylani, did these national folks, did they talk to you guys at all before saying that they were going to call it off?
No. They have not been talking to us, and they've also done the same bamboozle to even Reverend the great Reverend Al Sharpton, who told us that he was also pulled into a meeting without really knowing what happened. He apologized to us and the leaders here. I think 2 points that I want to clarify. Number one, Target already said that they have not made a single concession. So they're not making any concessions. They're not rolling back DEI. That's first. The second thing is the timing of this announcement. This came pretty much the same week of Target announcing that their fourth quarter numbers from last year were sluggish. In fact, one of the worst in all of their industries. Target boycott is effective. In fact, Target now has acknowledged that the boycott is the direct result of their slump in sales. And so this is a moment where for folks who have been boycotting, it is good news because Target is accepting and acknowledging, perhaps for the first time, that the boycott is working. The Atlanta.
What does this do
and
to kind of go back and forth and say, like, well, on the national level, they're saying we made progress. Target is saying, yes, it hurt us. We hear it. We're going to fulfill this commitment we made. There's a new CEO. What does it say about this whole thing to have this sort of dispute playing out between the local leaders and then whoever these national folks are?
Well, first of all, there is really no two groups. There's only one group that started this boycott. Another group jumped on, made a fast, and then disappeared, to be honest with you, to the most extent. While we have had multiple opportunities to engage Target, we have held many protests and marches. We have talked about this issue publicly, persistently, not just through 2 or 3 press conferences. That's number one. The second thing is we saw Target do something incredible. They used their parking lots as pretty much hunting grounds for ICE, including targeting their employees. Bavino was walking around Target as if he owns it. And so ICE Operation Metro Surge actually became also an epicenter for Target parking lot and Target stores. And so even more people joined the boycott, and more people started to show and see how horrible Target's behavior is. I think we are at a moment, historical moment, and the national leaders of this boycott are right here in Minnesota. So I think there's no other national leaders that we know of at this moment who started this boycott and has been consistent about those demands. The reason why they're not meeting with us is because we made it very clear what those demands are.
Nekima, do you worry that by protesting and by continuing this boycott, that you're actually hurting local people who work for Target, the local economy? It's a big employer here in our community. How do you weigh that?
You know who should be worried about that? Target and Donald Trump. It's not our responsibility to be focused on the consequences of what a hometown company does when they align itself with an authoritarian and fascist government. That is squarely on their shoulders as a company. And if they made a mistake, which we know they did, by aligning with Donald Trump, by rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion, they can correct that mistake by reversing the decision. That is on them. That's not on us, right? The reality is that Target needs to be held accountable. Even the daughters of the founder weighed in the Los Angeles Times by writing an op-ed saying that Target's actions are not aligned with their values or their father's values as a company. So we're not alone in saying that what Target did was absolutely disgusting and outrageous, and they don't get a pass simply because they have employees. We stand with those employees. We want those employees to be treated fairly and to be compensated fairly. At the same time, this lies squarely on Target's shoulders to correct. And also, it's important to understand that Target intentionally went around the local Black grassroots leaders here who launched this boycott to meet with 2 Black ministers outside of the state. And as Jaylani said, one was Reverend Al Sharpton, who we talked to several weeks ago, and he apologized to us for getting involved and accepting a meeting with Brian Cornell.
Have you talked at all to the new guy,
Jamal Bryant,
to Michael Fidelke, the new CEO? Have you talked with him at all?
We have not talked to him. He knows how to find us if he wants to talk to us, but he also knows that the starting point for any discussion with us is them making a decision to reverse the horrible decision they made when they rolled back diversity, equity, and inclusion. Outside of that, we have no reason to entertain Michael Fidelke. That's why he went to a sellout, Jamal Bryant, to try to get this boycott to end when the demands have not been met. This is a clout chase at the end of the day for these people. But for us, as people who genuinely care about this community, people who have a track record of standing up and fighting for this community, this boycott means something. This is one of the most, if not the most effective economic boycotts in modern American history. That fact cannot be overlooked. They did not think it was going to work. The media tried everything as Target's numbers were falling, except for being honest about the impact of the boycott.
Yeah.
Well, we knew from the beginning that the boycott was effective.
Yeah, I think there's no question that it's been effective. I do think, though, that this debacle today, if you're a person looking for leadership as to, all right, what should we do, or what should the process, you sort of look at this and you're like, what is the clown show going on here? We got this national thing coming on. I got an alert.
It's not us, Jason.
Yeah.
You've never seen us involved in a clown show. You've seen us standing on business when we called out police accountability years ago when people didn't want to listen. You see that we were right about that. And all of the other civil rights issues that we have consistently raised. So this isn't our clown show. This is Jamal Bryant and Target's clown show. How do you have leaders in your own backyard that you overlook, and you go find a pastor who doesn't have a track record of standing up with, for, or on behalf of this community, and get them to announce an end to the boycott? That's the clown show. If people are looking for leadership, they know exactly where to find us, the people who actually have a track record of standing on business and being effective at what we do.
Appreciate you guys taking the time. Really good explanation. Nakima Levy-Armstrong and Jaylani Hussein, who have been leading this effort locally. Thank you both.
Thank you, Jason.
422, you're welcome to react. Lots of texts coming in at 651-461-9226. You know, when you're explaining, it's not great. When a news alert, everybody gets this news alert, Target boycott over. And then the local people are like, no, it's not. Wow. All right. What a mess. Drive Time back in just a minute here on CCO.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old. So.
And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. You'll immediately feel the difference.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone, went away.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone!
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries, and I could never do a knee bend. Now I can do a knee bend. I'm working out, and it's just wonderful.
Call 855-554-3338 or stop by our locations in Roseville, Maple Grove, Burnsville, and Woodbury. Step into pain relief.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, so a couple of thoughts and a couple of reactions from me and the texters at 651-461-9226. This is not good if you are trying to put pressure on Target. On the one end, to have national activists, and whether it's stolen valor or people from out of here, like, you guys got to get your crap together. Local people, if you're running a local boycott that becomes national and you have people trying to hone in on it, this is not a surprise. Target's now former CEO met with these people, met with Al Sharpton, met with this guy who today said it was over. And he didn't meet with you guys. So you got to figure it out. You can be mad at those national people, but it's confusing if you have this boycott that you started here, that it seems like you've lost control of it. You've lost the plot. And so that's part of it. The other part, in my view, is that a never-ending boycott of Target is not productive for our community. And so when I specifically asked, like, don't you feel like you have to weigh the employees who are here in our community? If you're saying, I'm going to go spend money at some company that's based in Arkansas, I'm sorry, to me, after a year, you got to figure out, are we making progress? Have we made our point? If you're going to just continue this forever, that's fine. Everybody should shop wherever they want to shop at. But it ceases being as effective, I think. The other thing I wanted to talk about was this accusation that Target let ICE agents stage in their parking lots. I have a real hard time with people who want to punish businesses for basically following the law and being open to customers. So, first of all, I don't know that it's true that Target doesn't even own their parking lots, right? Target is mostly a renter in a strip mall complex where the owner of the strip mall owns the lot. That said, like, could Target kick people off their parking lot? I guess. But I just don't know that this wide-scale staging that people are talking about is a real thing. I also don't know that it's fair to expect, like, a local store manager or a local hourly employee to go out to the federal agents in the parking lot and tell them to get out. So I just think at a certain point when you start throwing everything in there, is your boycott about DEI? Is your boycott about promises broken? I think that's a compelling boycott. The promises were broken. I think if you're throwing in ICE and throwing it now, it's like, you're just pissed at Target. I'm not that interested. When you're throwing the kitchen sink in there, it makes it a little difficult for me to say, like, are you really trying to get to your goals? Jason, why give airtime to a perpetual whining malcontent in Nakima? Well, a new low for your show. This is news, folks. This is a big story locally, a big story nationally. She is a big figure in that. So that's why we give airtime to people who have important things to bring to the table. I think she made a lot of news in that conversation. That was important. I'm glad she came on. Texters say employees of Target do not feel that these boycotters stand with them. Endangering our jobs is what's happening. And it's not on their shoulders alone. The boycott needs to be accountable also. I think there's some truth to that. Appreciate everybody listening and weighing in. Texter saying I'm wrong about the ICE. I haven't been on the road as an observer. Home Depot, Menards, Target. They don't own their lots. I just think you're asking for people at retail stores to do too much. Your issue is with ICE. Your issue is with the federal government. And so by trying to take it to every business owner, I just disagree with that. take the issue to the federal government. Let's break. We're going to get back to a topic. I mean, everybody's arguing about the ICE. I just think if your approach is to be pissed off at local businesses for letting ICE stay in their hotel rooms or use their parking lot, you're mad at the wrong people. You're mad at the wrong people. You know what ICE agents were doing here? I'm shocked to hear you stand up for Target. I disagree with your tactics. I disagree with it. I think sticking it to local businesses is not the move. That's my view. Obviously, people disagree. You're allowed. Let's break. I don't know if people are going to disagree about this. A listener sent me an X response with a topic idea today that has to do with doom scrolling, public bathrooms, and an ejector seat. We will talk about that when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Talking about WCCO with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could prevent an awkward experience. Here's a way to start the conversation. Your family is going to have dinner at the neighbors for the first time. Before you walk through their door, ask the question.
Hello? Hey, we're really looking forward to tonight, but before we come over, I just need to ask, is WCCO playing in your home?
Oh, absolutely. It's preset on every radio and our smart speakers. And there's a backup transistor in the basement.
Oh, thank you. The kids feel safer already.
Don't assume WCCO is on. Have the conversation, because prolonged exposure to homes without News Talk 830 WCCO has been linked to uninformed opinions. And that's a risk no family should ever have to take.
In a world that's racing a mile a minute, a split-second distraction can change everything. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. Every day we see too many people, heads buried in their phones, unaware of the dangers they're in. Texting and driving isn't just reckless, it's playing Russian roulette with your life and the lives of others. In just 4 seconds of distraction, you've driven the length of a football field. Is there any text message that's worth your life, that's worth the lives of others? I've been fighting for the rights of the injured for over 30 years, but I'd rather you never meet me in a courtroom. So hear me now. Stop texting and driving. Pay attention. Value your lives and the lives around you. And if you won't, know this. At Bradshaw & Bryant, we're relentless. We won't back down. We bring justice to those that need it.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
With Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaid spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
94 34th Avenue, heading out 235W. If you're going to be traveling south 35W into the Crosstown Commons, get ready for your slowdowns past 50th Street and 35W northbound slows between County Road 10 and Highway 10. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters presents Guys and Dolls, a high-rolling musical spectacle packed with iconic songs and dazzling dance numbers. Don't miss this Tony Award-winning Best Musical, Guys and Dolls. Tickets at chanhassendt.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
CCO forecast brought to you by Chanhassen Dinner Theater, always entertaining you just like the always entertaining Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
We chilled tonight under a partly cloudy sky, falling back to 26. Clouds increase tomorrow. Storm system number 2 arrives, bringing rain that'll eventually change over to snow. Should warm to 46 in the afternoon. The heaviest snow is going to fall across northern Minnesota, 4 to 6 inches, maybe more over the Arrowhead. Friday, it will be sunshine again, but very windy and pretty raw. Only a high of 37 with that northwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll keep you updated on that possible storm this weekend. I do believe there will be snow. Just not sure how much and where at this point.
Windy out there right now, 11-mile-an-hour winds in Maple Grove. It is 39 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I got to sit through this schlock. And if I were a nice guy, I would say that it's dull and uninspired.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
There's a crisis in our country, and it is a crisis of obsession about our cell phones. We are doom scrolling in our beds. We're doom scrolling at our dinner dates. And we are doom scrolling sitting on the bathroom at the airport. Marty sent me a post on X this morning. And it's as disgusting as it is insightful. He writes, what is a reasonable period for a sit-down BM in a public restroom? Waiting 10 minutes for an open stall at MSP Airport seems excessive, with doom scrolling likely the primary culprit. Are you in favor of a countdown clock that would start in a public restroom where the time would start ticking down the moment your butt hits the toilet seat? 651-461-9226. And how much time do you put on the clock? How much time is it appropriate for you to take a seat in a public restroom? Because this is a finite resource, right? We've all been there. We've all been there waiting. You're like, what the heck, man? The worst. Now, the airport is one thing, because at least at the airport, there are a lot of toilets. You know what I mean? What about at the restaurant? There are a number of restaurants in the Twin Cities that just have like a one-seater, like a one bathroom, one throne. And in that scenario, if someone's in there on their phone, public stoning, I think, is the appropriate response to that person. Think of all the spots where someone is on their phone and they're blocking you. Now, you may be blocked, and maybe that's why you're sitting on that toilet. But I do think at a certain point, a little personal responsibility is in order, and you should plan your BM ahead of time. If you're blocked up, what's the emergency? Okay? That's what I say. 651-461-9226. Jonathan in Minneapolis. Jonathan, how much time should we put on the clock, you think? How long are you allowed to sit on the toilet?
Okay, I'm going to try to keep this as clean as possible.
All right, good luck.
Okay, now, with that being said, there should be no timer. Okay. Old people need a different stall for this, but the young people that are sitting on the phone while they are taking a poop,
yep.
I hope I can say that.
That's fine.
Should not be doing that. First off, I don't poop or anything on the bathroom. That's disgusting. Don't talk to me while you're on the phone, while you're in the bathroom. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to see it. No. What is wrong with this country? This is disgusting. No, stop doing that.
Well, I'm not making calls in there, Jonathan, but, I might want to, read a long-form article and, the Star Tribune.
If it takes you that long to take a poop, you might need to go see a doctor. Yeah. Because if it's 15 minutes or longer, I just bang on the door. I've now gone into the old guy mode where I say what I want, and I do not care.
Jonathan, before we hang up on you, could you just say poop one more time?
Jason DeRush's show is nothing but a bunch of poop.
Outstanding. Very good. I think Jonathan is too forgiving. 15 minutes is too long. It's too long. Rick is in St. Paul. Rick, how long should we put on the clock? Because if you're in there for more than like 6 or 7 minutes, odds are very good you're on the phone.
I agree with you, but I don't know how you put time on a toilet seat and get somebody to hurry up and get out of there. But
ejector.
I can't imagine
there's
anybody.
A spring-loaded seat. Once you go down to 0, it goes and just like boo, it shoots you off the seat.
Yeah, well, that would be good. I think first of all, I feel bad for anybody that. And you hear it once in a while. Even I was in the grocery store not too long ago, and somebody's in the bathroom talking on their phone while they're sitting in there. I mean, This isn't rest period. Go in there and do what you need to do, and get out of there and talk to your on your phone in a more appropriate place.
Yes, totally agree. I just think it's selfish. Like, people don't realize how rude it is because you're just
it's very rude.
I think it's really rude. Thanks, Rick.
For sure.
Appreciate it.
I learned this lesson the hard way.
Oh. Pardon?
This is years and years ago. I will go into a public restroom. There's 2 stalls, regular stall, handicap stall. Somebody's in the regular stall, so I go to the handicap stall.
Okay.
But I'm on the phone. I'm being a bad public restroom user. And when I finally am finished and I'm going to exit the restroom stall, here's now a guy in a wheelchair sitting outside the handicap stall looking at me like, really? Really? and I got nothing, because at this point the person in the other stall had left. So it looks like I'm now occupying this handicap stall. And just because
what a monster. You just wanted some room.
I wanted some room. I want to spread out. I don't blame him for thinking that, given the circumstance.
I like the handicap stall.
But I felt so bad because I made this poor guy sit and wait. And it wasn't because I was, conducting the usual business. I was on the phone, goofing around, not paying attention.
Yeah.
And so now I'm very hyper aware when I go into a bathroom. First of all, to make sure the only reason I would ever use a handicap stall is there just isn't any other business. And I need to use it like right now, or there's going to be a problem. And then if I do, or if I'm in any stall, it's get the business done. I mean, I may break out the phone, but it's get the business done, get out. I'm not.
Sometimes I get distracted, and sometimes I'm not going to lie. There have been times in my life where, you go in that bathroom, it's like you've escaped your house.
Yeah.
Like, whatever the kids are doing to annoy you.
I mean, how many people call that the reading room? Lots of people.
I used to read Popular Mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Consumer Reports. My dad always had Consumer Reports. My mom had romance novels. Honestly,
everybody had a magazine rack in the bathroom when I was growing up. That was
Family
just
Circle.
part of the bit.
All the good stuff. Texters say the restrooms are way too nice. They should be more like Amsterdam, where they're a little nasty and you don't want to dawdle on the pod.
It depends on which restroom you're in. There's plenty that are nasty around here.
I think that's right. The smartphone is, I don't know exactly what that means. Sinks, urinals, commodes, those are installed by the plumbers. So you can only have things that are installed by the plumbers in the restroom, not smartphones. With a timer involved, I'll spend less time at the exit looking pretty with the "my husband's taking a crap" look on my face. You see that at the airport all the time.
Yes.
You see that all the time.
Yeah,
Another
do.
Texter says 4 minutes, 33 seconds is long enough.
Oh, I don't know.
There are times. I don't know. Another texter says, "Here's my solution. I don't go number 2 except at home." I think that's
that's ideal. If you have that level of control,
sometimes you have
God
to
bless you. Good on you.
It's not just the airport, though.
No.
I have seen people doing this, like at a parking lot, where you're trying to be responsible and you're looking at your phone before you. Haven't you ever been waiting for?
No, I thought there's some sort of bathroom in the parking lot.
No, I mean dawdling on the phone. I just think people are dawdling on the phone everywhere, and it's so selfish.
Yeah. It is.
You're trying to get a parking spot. You're trying to get to a coffee shop, and someone's there, and it's like, here's my 40 minutes on Facebook.
This goes back to my rant that I've done 1,000 different times on our lack of spatial awareness in this culture. We're all navel-gazing. Nobody's looking around to see what's going on around them and what impact whatever it is they're doing, doom scrolling or anything else, might have on anybody else. I'm all focused on me and mine, and you and yours have to just figure it out. It's a horrible, horrible turn our culture has taken.
On social media, Adam Platt, editor of Twin Cities Business, points out that at least Larry Craig was doing something productive. I mean,
oh boy,
at least there's that. I'm not opposed for like a kabam, like a countdown clock. 10 minutes, I think, is enough.
What about like a mild electric shock? There's a little,
Just
buzz.
like every 4 minutes.
I'm not talking about a taser. I'm just saying something to go, hey.
Get off the phone. Zzz. I'm not opposed. Drive time back in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Dan, you're never going to guess what we're having for dinner in St. Paul tonight.
Some kind of pork product?
You got it. You got it. Jason here for the Minnesota Pork Board, our 3,000 family farmers in Minnesota. My mouth is watering right now thinking about it. Bone-in pork chops. Oh, baby. Picked it up fresh at the meat counter in St. Paul at a local grocery store yesterday. Been sitting in the refrigerator, seasoned up. Simple. I like to keep it simple, but it's going to be delicious. Oh, my goodness. Can't wait. Should I fire up the grill tonight? It's a little cold outside, but it's a little windy. It's a gas grill. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how we do it. So many options. If you go to the website, tastewhatporkcando.com, you can find all sorts of recipe inspiration. No doubt that, oh, man, you look at all the different options, all the different ways you can cook. You can filter it by cut, by meal type, by cooking method, whatever the case may be. Pork can do just about anything. So many different flavors, so much inspiration. Easy, high protein, affordable. Get to the grocery store. Get to the butcher shop. Let's have Minnesota pork for dinner tonight.
Ready to free up your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at AmazonBusiness.com.
Hey, it's Tiki Barber with a special message for any local business owner looking to diversify your income. Amazon Hub Delivery is making it easy to earn extra money. When you partner with Amazon Hub Delivery, you and your staff will deliver packages to customers in your area. With each package delivered, you'll gain extra income and exposure for your business. There's no upfront cost, no delivery experience, and no long-term contracts required. Get started today at Amazon.com/Hub Delivery. That's Amazon.com/HUB Delivery.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
I do. If it's Barufka's 521 swivel glider chair.
The 521 swivel glider chair is Craftsman Direct priced from $1927 or $81 a month for 24 months. So whether it's 6 a.m. or 11 at night, you'll fall in love with 521.
Oh, Jim. Barufka's, no gimmicks, haggling, or hard to understand pricing. In Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Decidedly worth your time.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Call 855-554-3338 or stop by our locations in Roseville, Maple Grove, Burnsville, and Woodbury.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Step into pain relief.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product. And I'm 70 years old. old.
And those sleep night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those sleep night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini-Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those sleep night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini-Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Slowdowns continue west 94 Riverside into downtown Minneapolis. Traveling 694 eastbound. Got your heavy stuff in place. Shingle Creek Parkway heading out towards Central Avenue. 35E northbound, some slowing between University and Highway 36. It's taco night at Whole Foods Market. Get 2 large Hass avocados for $3 with Prime through March 17th. Make a Mexican-inspired dish topped with fresh, creamy avocados. While supplies last, shop in store online. Terms apply.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck, and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing bringing us the CCO weather forecast, and we're watching for some changes. Tonight, partly cloudy. Low will be 26. Tomorrow, rain to snow by evening. High is 46, but we're watching that afternoon drive, and we'll keep you covered tomorrow. This weekend, keep an eye on Saturday night into Sunday. We might get some real snow. Yeah, winter's still hanging around. It's only March 11th. It's 38 on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH.
It's okay to be skeptical and cynical about this. I think that's part of the deal, but it's also okay to have fun.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
I am a believer that you are a better employee when you are a customer of where you work. Now, I don't impose my view on this on others, like Dan.
You just silently judge.
I used to loudly judge.
You did, yes, you did. You have.
Now I silently judge. This came to mind when Adam Carter said this on his show yesterday.
And then it came up, I hope he's not listening. And then you asked me if I listen. And I said, well, I don't really listen to the show. I don't really listen to the station. It's not my cup of tea, I think I said. And what I meant to say was...
Oh, I think we heard. We all heard.
You heard what
it's
I
okay.
said. And then people blasted me for that. Are you kidding me? Here's what I meant to say. I don't go out of my way to listen to talk radio when I'm not actually at work.
Oh, so you're going further. Instead of saying WCCO radio is not your cup of tea, all talk radio is not your cup of tea.
I just... that when I'm in my car...
Whole dug deeper, thanks.
When I'm in my car and when I'm driving, my first choice isn't to listen to talk radio. There, I've said it.
Adam Carter hates WCCO, is what I'm hearing. He hates this radio station. He can't stand it. Why would he listen to this crap when you got... I mean, think of the options. Like, right at this time, he could be listening to KS95. Is it Moon and Stacy?
I have no idea.
No, it's not Moon anymore, I don't think. I don't know who's on KS95 again.
Where did you come up with that picture of him, by the way? That's fantastic.
Is that nice? If you're watching on the video stream, it's Stacy and Hutch. Stacy and Hutch.
Great.
Right
Wonderful
now.
people.
Barrero, he could be listening to
Good.
Barrero.
Yeah.
Fallon on the KDWB. Lots of options better than this crappy show. That's for dang sure. I listen to this station most of the day. Mainly I listen so I can hear other hosts do a crappy job with topics that I think I could do better. And so that's what Drive Time with DeRUSH is all about. Everybody else is sort of like a dress rehearsal. And then the real show comes on the air, and now we got everything worked out, you know? Dan, do you ever listen to this radio station?
I do.
When
I
you're
listen
not
to this
here?
radio station all the time.
Really?
Well, I listen to mostly Chad.
Yeah.
and then some of Henry.
Is it just because you're in the office? It's
in the office or coming in.
Taylor, do you ever Taylor Rivera's got news coming up in a minute. Do you ever listen to this radio station, Taylor?
All the time. It's my job to listen to the station.
Listen to that. That's Employee of the Month right there. Who would think that?
Do we still have that?
That would be.
Can we still vote on that?
A remarkable state. I'm going to give you some Odyssey bucks.
Oh, there you go.
I need that.
I mean, if you work for Target, you probably shop there, but it's probably for the employee discount, so I don't know if it counts. Taylor's news coming up.
No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid to...
Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring cleaning is upon us, but there's one meaningful box that you don't throw away when cleaning out your closet. It's the box filled with your family's important videotapes, film reels, and photos. Hi, I'm Adam Baselogger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago to help families organize and update their analog media to digital.
Legacy Box is simple and easy. It works and is safe. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box.
And Legacy Box has been featured in Good Housekeeping, The Today Show, and Rachel Ray.
Legacy Box is like magic, converting your shoebox of memories to the cloud or thumb drive, ready to watch and share.
Declutter your closet by digitizing your media. Become more organized and accomplished, knowing your family's recorded past is safe forever. Take advantage of our spring cleaning sale going on now. It's the easiest task to check off your to-do list.
For a limited time, you can get started for just $9 a tape. Visit legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to get our $9 offer. Legacybox.com/radio.
Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps. This is News Talk 830 WCCO 1029 HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Wealthy nations pledge a record release of emergency oil reserves, but that oil still needs to be refined before it gets to consumers. And driver Morgan Howard in Atlanta says of the rising gas prices,
I pay attention to gas. Ridiculous. It's sad.
More from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The president says he will tap the U.S.'s Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Speaking in Hebron, Kentucky, Trump also announced international action.
The International Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world.
The president added higher prices during the Iran war are temporary.
We got to finish the job.
Iran has attacked commercial ships across the Persian Gulf region, further affecting global oil prices. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Iran is ramping up its drone strikes in the Gulf region as the U.S. and Israel press forward with their efforts to eliminate targets still important to the regime inside Iran. This escalation in fighting has turned into a battle over the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv.
They hit 3 ships passing through the straits. One of them was hit by some sort of projectile. We believe it was a suspected drone that gouged a massive hole in the hull of this tanker. It's sitting in the narrowest part of the Strait of Hormuz right now, still smoking.
Tornadoes have killed at least 2 people in their Lake Village, Indiana home and destroyed buildings in Illinois. Indiana State Police Sergeant Glenn Fifield says first responders were out as soon as possible.
Very dangerous circumstances with live power lines down, going into situations that were very unsafe.
President Trump is pushing Republican senators to pass the SAVE Act. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill.
John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, the Republican, has said, statement of fact, the votes just aren't there. You would need Democratic support to pass this. The votes aren't there. There are these calls to essentially blow up the filibuster. to pass this legislation, and the votes for that aren't there yet either.
A new study finds that drugs like Ozempic can help diabetic people who have brain cancer.
Researchers used the TriNet X Global Network, a database comprised of 151 healthcare organizations around the world. It found that diabetics whose cancer is spread to the brain can live significantly longer if they are taking a GLP-1 drug. The study found that the use of such drugs is associated with the lower all-cause mortality, which remains consistent across major cancer groups. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Cloudy and 39 at 5:03. I'm Taylor Rivera. This hour's top story: Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey has decided to veto the city council's recently passed eviction extension ordinance in favor of direct aid. The mayor is instead pushing a $1 million emergency rental assistance investment, arguing that direct financial support is more effective for housing stability than delaying legal timelines. The city council must now decide whether to attempt an override of the veto or to move forward with the mayor's alternative funding proposal. This new proposal comes as many citizens are navigating heightened uncertainty following recent federal immigration enforcement activity across the Twin Cities. Lyft is set to pay $63,000 following Minnesota Human Rights Act violations. The state's investigation found that Lyft drivers had canceled multiple scheduled rides for passengers, specifically because they were accompanied by a service animal. Commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Human Rights, Rebecca Lucero.
While this agreement is specific to Lyft, we expect that all riders in Minnesota and, in fact, across the United States will benefit from these changes to policy and accountability.
The agreement mandates nationwide driver training, app updates to improve accessibility, and a 3-year compliance monitoring period to ensure the rights of riders with disabilities are protected. A federal judge has ruled that agents here in Minnesota detain people solely on the basis of their race.
Judge Eric Tostrud in his ruling called the evidence troubling and compelling. The case brought by the American Civil Liberties Union of Minnesota detailed 34 cases which citizens and legal immigrants claim they were the victims of racial profiling. While he says ICE officers made a few of those stops based on reasonable evidence, Tostrud ultimately stated that the Department of Homeland Security was working outside of the boundaries of the Constitution. He stopped short, though, of issuing a restraining order, citing, among other things, the apparent drawdown of the surge. Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Finally, a new concert venue in North Minneapolis is expected to break ground soon.
Groundbreaking for the 8,000-seat Upper Harbor Amphitheater, initially scheduled for last September, will now occur this spring. City Council member Latricia Vita explains the delay.
Getting everything lined up, permits, and the construction and everything is just behind altogether. And so I think finally we've made it to the top of the list to start.
Opening in 2027, this will greatly impact the North Minneapolis community.
Jobs is the main thing, right? Like, we need more of that. We need more people in the community to have opportunities to go over and work there. And this would be one of the places they could work on to ensure that they have a full-time job working at stadiums. And that could be like production teams, food.
Ari Bergeron, News Talk 830 WCCO.
WCCO News Time is 5:06.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Some slowdowns crosstown westbound 34th Avenue over 235W. 94 westbound, still a slow ride. Riverside, no big surprise into downtown and the Lowry Hill Tunnel. Highway 10 westbound, got your slowdowns there as you come up from 694, 235W. And then North 35W is slow from County Road 10 to Highway 10. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
With a well-designed will, trust, and estate plan, you can have peace of mind. Choose Matt Gutman of Gutman Law to give yourself peace of mind. Call him now, 612-895-1616 at gutmanlaw.com. Gutman Law, peace of mind today for tomorrow.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Let's take a look at the forecast with WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer. Brought to you by Gutman Law, Wills, Trust, and Probate Law. Find them at gutmanlaw.com.
Quiet tonight. We'll have a few clouds as we cool back to 26. Now, those clouds are going to increase tomorrow as system number 2 arrives. This one should bring a chance of rain as we warm to 46, eventually changing over to wet snow. The bulk of that snow is going to fall across northern Minnesota, where there are winter storm warnings, several inches possible. Friday, it's going to be very windy. We'll see some sunshine again, but only a high of 37. Still keeping an eye on that possible big storm Saturday night into Sunday.
Right now, it's 38 degrees on News Talk 830 WCCO.
News that leads to conversations. Conversations that matter. News Talk 830 WCCO. He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRUSH. Once again, here's Jason DeRUSH.
It is Wednesday. We are on the air everywhere.
Now shut up and drive.
Love having you with us here on Drive Time with DeRUSH. We are so grateful to spend this chunk of the day with you. It's Jason. Taylor Rivera has you covered in the newsroom. Dan Cook at the controls, as always. And, oh, man. Like, this week. I don't know. Do you feel tired by this week? I'm trying to figure out. I mean, it started very dramatically for us, right? With our boss recovering at home from a heart attack that he had over the weekend.
Obviously, the time change didn't help.
But, oh, give me a break. Yeah, I'm sure. How have you recovered? Maybe that's my issue.
Courage. Just sheer courage.
You know what? For the last 2 nights, I have been out after work. On Monday, Alyssa and I walked from here to Mara at the Four Seasons, had a drink at the bar, then walked to the North Loop, where we had dinner at Sanju-san with a friend, and we're walking around, and it's like 7 o'clock and it's still sort of light out, and you think, like, how nice is this? But this morning, Dan Cook, when I woke up at 6:30 this morning, looked outside, and it was dark. For a moment, I was like, man, this is kind of a bummer having it dark. But then I restrained myself. I didn't post that on social media. I kept it to myself. Aren't you proud of me?
You're a profile in courage.
Wow. I'd like to tell you, you're the first to say that, but a lot of
today,
you are the first to say it today. Let's get you up to date. Another busy day in the news. Let's let you know everything going on in the DRUSH Hour News Headlines.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRUSH Hour Headlines, starting with the lead.
And I begin by directing you to our podcast because we covered quite a bit of news in our first 2 hours, including the Target boycott. Nationally, people who have said they're the leaders of the Target boycott, people who have met with the leadership at Target, have said the boycott is over. In our second hour, we had a conversation with Nakima Levy-Armstrong and Jaylani Hussein, 2 of the activists who started the Target boycott, led the boycott here in the Twin Cities. They're saying it's not over. They're not satisfied. So interesting stuff as that debate plays out in the news media. It's never a good thing when you're trying to organize people and let them know how to feel. We'll see what the national story is. If the rest of the country is like, well, they said the boycott's over, we can go back. Will people go back? I don't know. So we'll see. Another story we are keeping an eye on, and it is the war with Israel and the United States and Iran. And two big developments to talk about. One is that Israel continues to hit Tehran, more than 600 killed in Lebanon, over 800,000 displaced. Repeated drone attacks killing several in the capital of Iran. But an exclusive report in the New York Times talking about that very first strike of a school that we heard about. And President Trump had initially said that it looked like Iran did this to themselves, this strike on an Iranian school. But the New York Times now reporting that we did it. An ongoing military investigation determined that the United States launched that Tomahawk missile strike that hit an Iranian elementary school. It was February 28th. It was the result of a targeting mistake by the United States military. They were conducting strikes on an Iranian base. The school used to be part of that base, is what the preliminary investigation found. And it's no longer part of the base. It is a school. It's a legit elementary school. Lots of unanswered questions about why outdated information had not been double-checked. But the New York Times reporting that striking a school full of children is sure to be recorded as one of the most devastating single military errors in recent decades. Iranian officials have said 175 people were killed in that attack, mostly children. So still an ongoing investigation into how this went down and what went wrong. But with the good that has come from the attacks in Iran and the replacement of a truly horrifying regime in Iran, you also have to own the screw-ups. That is part of war. That is part of military action. And at least the preliminary indication makes it look like we were responsible for a pretty major screw-up. Here in the Twin Cities, transit ridership, the bus, the train, it is down again last year. This is a difficult situation to solve. Ridership on public transit down 3% in 2025 when compared to the previous year. We know that these rapid bus lines are more popular. There are 3 new routes that provide fast and frequent service, but light rail ridership, way down. So Southwest Transit, up 14% over last year. Maple Grove Transit, up 12%. Plymouth Metrolink, up 1%. Minnesota Valley Transit Authority, down 1%. But these suburban, 3 of the 4 suburban providers, that is a good sign where it says some of this is a return to office in the downtown core because that's what those rapid suburban transit lines do. Some of it maybe is growing comfort with the safety on those suburban routes. And some of it is maybe just a return to routine, where your routine was sort of broken up over the last couple of years. Am I going to work from home? Am I going to work from the office? With more people showing up downtown. And Dan and I always do the what level on the parking ramp did we have to park at test to sort of indicate. It gives you a pretty good idea as to what's going on. And today, I was on level 5. Usually I'm on level 2 or 3. Today I had to go to 5, which says a lot of people at work or the convention center was really busy. Either way, a lot of people downtown. And you park in a different ramp from me, but nearby.
Yeah, I'm usually, again, on level 2, maybe 4, but today I was all the way up on 6. So
this should be the only metric that counts. How does downtown attendance affect what level Dan and I have to park on?
Seems completely fair to me.
It's a pretty reliable indicator.
For sure.
Now, here's the problem with transit, right? The problem is we don't have the central sort of hub spoke thing that was working for so long. And so if people are working at home on some days, you have transit that's just being used less. All the gains of the suburbs were wiped out by a larger decline of light rail. And this, to me, is 100% about quality of life on light rail. People can argue, and this is a lesson, I think, especially to Democrats in Minnesota, that you can argue about whether things are criminal versus uncomfortable. But expecting people in an area where you have choice about ways to get to work, our traffic is bad, but it's not that bad, that dismissing people's valid concerns as saying like, oh, well, you should have to, it's just uncomfortable. That ain't it. And allowing drug use to proliferate, allowing rude behavior, uncomfortable behavior, people just say, forget it. I'm not going to ride it. It's not worth it. The decline in light rail, think about that, 14% fewer compared to last year. We're not talking about pre-pandemic. We're talking about 2024 to 2025. Big, big issue. What is the future of transit in the Twin Cities? This is something we'll be talking about over the next couple of weeks because I don't know. I'm not optimistic, I'll be honest. I am not optimistic. Let's talk about something I am optimistic about, and that is the state fair. It is not that far away, but if you want a piece of the best state fair in the country,
our state fair is a great state fair. Don't miss it, don't even be late.
oh, exactly right. Twin Cities Pioneer Press reporter Jared Kaufman writing about the State Fair's 20th Century Fairgrounds auction. So you can get a vintage turnstile, you can get a ticket bin, you can get, and there's a lot of pretty weird stuff here. Coliseum chairs. Do you want a chair from the old Coliseum in your basement? I'm going to say no. Look. On our live stream, this is at auctionmasters.com, but we've got an image up of all of those chairs. I don't know, kind of weird. Some cool memorabilia, old posters, old signage, a turnstile from the state fair. I don't know, that would be fun. The little farm hands, like the little, what do you call those? It's like a bike, tricycle, a little tricycle. You were no help on that one, were you, Cook? You're like, tricycle.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
You know, the little three-wheel, little...
No, I know what a tricycle is,
I know,
but when you're leading up to it, there was nothing there that was helpful. Yeah.
No. All of that up for auction. It runs through March 16th, so you got a couple of days to put a bid in on that. Kind of fun. It'd be fun to have a piece of the state fairground in your own home. That's the DRUSH Hour News Headlines. In a minute, we go in depth on the question of tariffs. Minnesota companies are trying to get their money back after the Supreme Court said that President Trump's tariffs are illegal. Should they get that money back? What prospects do they have for getting that money back? And are we going to see any of it? We'll talk with a Minnesota Star Tribune reporter in just a minute.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
J.H. and Sons at the Galleria in Edina is my headquarters for looking good, feeling confident, dressing well, and I want you to go meet the team over there. If you get to jhandsons.com, you can sign up for their email list. That's a good way to start, a good way to introduce yourself to this amazing family business. The Halberstadts family, it's been a big name in men's clothing for decades. They started in St. Cloud. Jeff Halberstadt and his sons are running this next generation store, and it's beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful store with amazing people. My guy is Kevin. Maybe yours will be Chuck or Bryce. The team over there is unreal. They will find the perfect garment for your needs. So maybe you got a wedding coming up, maybe graduation, you want to look good for that. Maybe you want a promotion at work and you want to start dressing better, or you've got a date and just going out at night, you want to look a little more put together. J.H. & Sons has answers for all of those areas. Now, this weekend, there's something special going on at J.H. & Sons at the Galleria. there's an amazing Italian line called Canali. And they'll have a guy from the brand. This is how awesome J.H. & Sons is. They got a guy from Canali coming to the store Saturday. So from 10 to 7, you can meet the brand rep. You can find the perfect fit. You could customize, have a made-to-measure suit if you're interested in that. This is premium menswear right in our backyard. Go to the Galleria. Go to Edina. Go see the team at J.H. & Sons and experience the difference and let me know how awesome it really was. JHandsons.com.
At Wealth Enhancement, we believe wealth is in the details. Our team of trusted advisors craft personalized solutions to help you achieve your financial goals. Tune in to the Your Money Show on News Talk 830 WCCO every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. or go to wealthenhancement.com to connect with one of our advisors.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store for your no-obligation custom fitting. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Call 855-554-3338 or stop by our locations in Roseville, Maple Grove, Burnsville, and Woodbury.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Step into pain relief.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH, video streaming live on YouTube and always, and I mean always, on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
DRUSH Hour News Headlines, going in depth now on a question that I wondered from the minute we heard what the Supreme Court decided about President Donald Trump's tariffs. That when the court said they were illegal, were we ever going to see some of the money that we paid? Well, Minnesota companies are lining up trying to get their refunds, at least. And Dee Pass wrote about this in the Minnesota Star Tribune today. She joins us on the John Schuster Coldwell Banker Hotline. Dee, thanks for being with us.
Sure thing. Happy to be here.
No surprise to see Minnesota companies trying to get some of the tariffs that they spent refunded, right? What are they telling you?
Oh boy. Well, it's kind of a mess. The Supreme Court ruling on February 20th didn't go into detail about how the refunds are supposed to be issued, and it just mandated that they were illegal. So it wasn't until March 5th when the U.S. Court of International Trade, they made a ruling saying that yes, the tariffs must be refunded to businesses and must be returned immediately. However, the next day, on March 6th, the Customs and Border Protection Agency went before the same court and pleaded its case that it needed time to issue or to create or implement some sort of a refund system, an automated refund system, and that Customs thought that it could do this in about 45 days. So actually, Judge Richard Eaton at the Court of International Trade ended up suspending his order to issue a refund immediately and ended up saying that, okay, we'll get progress reports from Customs and go from there. So it's been a bit of back and forth for the last few days. Right. And, everybody from the importers themselves to retailers, are just bracing themselves for a long battle.
Yeah, and and we'll see. Like in your story, they're about as optimistic as I am about getting some of the money I spent back. I mean, you never quite know how this is going to work out, right?
Well, what's fascinating is, Harvard Business School, and then there's a U.S. Taxation Foundation. They estimated that you, Jason, and I, and every other consumer out there in the U.S. paid about $1,000 more for this experiment in the IEEPA trade tariffs. So that, and we didn't foot the full bill. A lot of the importers really digested a lot of these costs, but you and I paid roughly 25%, let's just say, of these tariffs. So, that's no small expense when you're talking about a family budget. That's a pretty significant cost.
I was interested, as we talked with Dee Dee Pass from the Minnesota Star-Tribune, about the range of companies that were impacted by this. Some we have heard about because they were speaking out a little more along the way, and you talk about Mischief Toy Store, which is an independent, wonderful little shop on Grand Avenue in St. Paul, but they said they spent maybe $10,000 more this year for merchandise that they imported from than they did the year before. But you're talking about Hormel and Arctic Cat and the maker of the Rapala fishing lures. I mean, this is really a broad category, including the MedTech company, MedSource Labs, that you really focus on.
MedSource and Chanhassen.
Yeah.
The breadth and the reach of this was pretty dynamic. I ended up interviewing a company based in Chicago called Learning Resources, and they were one of the first ones to sue the Trump administration over these International Emergency Economic Powers Act tariffs. And they were out a whopping $10 million. I mean, they end up making a lot of these educational toys from countries around the world, and they sell to about 100 to customers in about 100 countries. And their argument was that, these trade tariffs are illegal. They want it back. They want their money back. And they provide Target stores with educational toys, everything from canoodle puzzles to brain teaser puzzles to plush toys to creativity and learning kits. But they also supply Mischief Toy Store with the goods that they import. So, that conversation was really fascinating because, the CEO at Learning Resources is Rick Waldenberg. He went to school with Senator U.S. Amy Klobuchar and is a lawyer's nerd. He really gets into the nitty-gritty of the law. So it was fascinating to sort of chat with him about the impact to his company. And it's, a company that generates over $100 million in revenues. They've got over 500 employees. They're really passionate about their business. And this just about wrecked them. The year before the tariffs went into effect, their tax bill was about $2 million. When the tariffs went into place last year, suddenly their tariff bill jumped to over $10 million. That's a huge hit to a company, with just 500 employees. And they operate, like I said, north of Chicago. So
interesting.
Yeah, but the range of it was pretty interesting. MedTech to toys to, Hormel, meat.
Dee Dee Pass is with us from the Minnesota Star-Tribune. I mean, generally speaking, are people aren't expecting they're going to get the full hit back, but they're just hoping to get some of this money back, right?
Well, that's true. And then there's a big question. Like companies, there's the tiny store, Mischief Toy Store in St. Paul. They ended up getting line item bills in their purchase orders for about $1,100 specifically because of these tariffs. And yet their own costs exceeded $10,000. Well, they're in a bit of a pickle because they technically don't import directly. They import through these entities like Learning Resources. So there are a number of companies that are going to be just like Mischief Toys, where they have these huge increased costs. Customers stop shopping because of some of the increased prices, the price increases that had to be implemented to cover these costs. So they're going to be out lots and lots of money. Not everybody's going to get refunded to the degree that they think. And so every CEO that we talked to was like, well, we'll wait and see. We know they're going to try and make this, sort of play this out for as long as possible. There might be subsequent lawsuits that take place. Nobody was thinking this is going to be a quick remedy.
Dee Pass, really appreciate your reporting. We know you'll be on top of this as these lawsuits kind of work their way through, and we see if ultimately we get some of this money back, right, after the companies first. Dee, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks so much.
All right, Drive Time back in just a minute with enough. What have you had enough of? I want to hear from you at 651-461-9226. Stay right there.
This is Drive Time with DeRUSH on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
Software stocks have been under pressure from rising AI competition. OpenAI unveiled Frontier, a new enterprise platform intended to mesh different systems and data so companies can more easily build and manage AI agents. OpenAI says enterprise customers make up 40% of its business. Rival Anthropic also announced a new AI automation tool for businesses, including legal services. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-939-1441. 800-939-1441.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this is my third order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old, so.
And those Sleep Night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those Sleep Night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Got a crash working from Minneapolis. South 94 as you make way toward Highway 55. Look for the left lane to be affected. Traffic is jammed as a result as you come down from Plymouth Avenue. Get ready for those slowdowns. Slowdowns place East 394, 100 to 94. Over on the East Metro, not too bad. 52 northbound, some minor slowdowns between Plato and 94. Trey Peterson, New Talk 830 WCCO.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Snow this weekend, maybe. So, it's only Wednesday. Let's not get too carried away. Here's Chris Schaefer.
We chill tonight under a partly cloudy sky, falling back to 26. Clouds increase tomorrow. Storm system number 2 arrives, bringing rain that'll eventually change over to snow. Should warm to 46 in the afternoon. The heaviest snow is going to fall across northern Minnesota, 4 to 6 inches, maybe more over the Arrowhead. Friday, it will be sunshine again, but very windy and pretty raw. Only a high of 37 with that northwest wind 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll keep you updated on that possible storm this weekend. I do believe there will be snow, just not sure how much and where at this point.
Right now it's just windy, 10-mile-an-hour winds, gusting as well, up to 15 to 20. Right now it is 39 degrees on CCO.
Jason DeRusha.
You never know on this show, yes.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I have had enough. Enough is enough. Enough.
Enough at 651-461-9226. What you really should be doing all week is preparing for this segment by sending us a voice message using the Odyssey app. You can click on the microphone, and that way when something just frosts you, drives you nuts, you're like, I got it. I'm sending to Russia an enough. So you can send us that. You can do it now as well through the voice message, and those come right into our inbox. And Dan Cook, we already have a caller, so let's go. Let's let Howard in Minneapolis get us started. Howard, you are at 651-461-9226. What have you had enough of, sir?
I've had enough of the progressives and the moderates in Minneapolis duking it out. We have bigger fish to fry.
Is there a topic that they're really going at it on that drives you nuts?
Well, the veto of the 60-day eviction notice that just came out.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to these kids that have already been traumatized when their families get evicted? This should have been a no-brainer. This should not be a veto, and now the progressives and the moderates are going at it again.
Well, it sounds like you just want the progressives to win, not that you don't want them to fight.
No, just that, I mean, it's common sense that we went through the Operation Metro Surge. These families were hiding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt. And not working and not having the cash flow to pay their rent.
What about these kids?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's interesting. I mean, at the same time, the mayor is saying, all right, why don't we put another $1 million in city assistance on top of, he's trying to do rental assistance instead of eviction, pausing. I think the concern about pausing eviction is that you just end up in court a lot, right? Like it doesn't necessarily solve the problem. I don't know.
Well, here's the problem. Once you get an eviction on your record, then it's very hard for you to find another rental property.
Yeah, that is.
And so
that
the
is
county
for sure.
says you have to have an eviction to get help. So the whole system is set up so these poor immigrant families that have been through the ringer now have to go through this. We got to take care of these families.
Howard, very good. Thank you. I appreciate it. A lot of advocates are saying the governor should do it. We should get a guest on to talk a little bit more about it. I'll be honest that I don't fully understand the whole process. The mayor has made the case that pausing eviction sounds good but doesn't always work. And putting money on the table to help people is a more effective way to get it done. 651-461-9226. Texters say, enough. Oh, there's so many. Oh, I like this one from Jack in St. Cloud. Dan, Jack in St. Cloud is nailing it.
Okay.
I have had enough of these manhole covers that are worse than the potholes.
Ooh, yeah.
Who could explain this to me? You're driving along, and I feel like I'm playing Frogger with manhole covers because they've all, sunk on the roadway. So the car is just like, boom, 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 thump, boom, boom. Ridiculous. I don't know what I forget where I was the last 2 nights ago, but it was like we need some asphalt just right in there, right on top of it, trying to like level it out with the highway. I absolutely hate that. That's very good. Texters, I have had enough of blaming Trump for everything that he does, despite the fact that some of what he does is exactly what Biden and Obama wanted to do, but didn't do. That's quite a statement. So getting rid of Maduro is one example. Yeah, everybody wants it. Just because you want to get rid of somebody, and then there are ways that you could do some of this thing. I think Trump should get credit for getting rid of Maduro, going in and getting them out of there, getting rid of the Ayatollah in Iran. I don't know about that one. I think the jury's out. Like, everybody's happy that the Ayatollah's gone, but whenever you replace somebody, is it going to be worse? What's the exit strategy? What's the whole strategy? I think that's a tricky one. I've had enough of kids that can't accept losing at the state tournament. You came in second in state. It's a huge accomplishment. Grow up and say thank you to the medal presenter and be a good role model for others in your school. On Monday, I think I had more forgiveness for the young people, because you're like, you're 15, you're 16, you're 17. And it's emotional. And as the week has gone on, I find myself less empathetic to those young people. Because the truth is, if you are in the Minnesota State hockey tournament, you have been watching the tournament. The high school varsity team today, they've been watching this on TV since they were little, and they know how it goes. And so I do think that something a little different happened this year. Jason, I've had enough of hearing people complain that everything is too expensive. Should I expect to hear this sort of whining the rest of my life, no matter which party controls the levers of power? Boy, that's an we have some very interesting enoughs today, because that is fascinating. I've been thinking about this too, because at the same time, I can acknowledge that like going out to eat is really expensive. It just is. But it's also not expensive enough to cover the cost of what it costs to run a restaurant. So when people constantly complain about this stuff, a little bit, you're like, all right, like, do we just want everything to be $6 from here until eternity? Like, things do get more expensive. We want people to make a living wage. Somebody was complaining to me about cocktail cost. Oh, $15 for a cocktail, plus tax, plus tip. It was $38 for 2 drinks. And you're like, yeah. You want the guy who made that drink to make a wage, and you want, it's tricky. Because I don't want to dismiss that it's expensive, because it is. It's tricky. Angie's in St. Paul. Angie, you're up. What have you had enough of?
Well, like one of your previous callers, I've had enough of the moderates and the progressives and all the political theater, and everything seems to be yes or no, black and white. Nobody seems to be able to compromise. You had asked for an alternate perception to the eviction moratorium.
Right.
And so I happen to be a housing provider, and as a housing provider, we do just that. We provide people housing. We don't like to put people out of housing. I am obviously against that decision to extend the notice or to impose an eviction moratorium, and here's why. I house a lot of immigrants. I have no problem with that, and we like working with them. But this problem is not like COVID. This is not systemic. This is very isolated to some specific people that absolutely need help. That's where more money comes in to provide them help. Let's be strategic and surgical versus using an axe to solve a problem. This is...
So the idea being more that, like, you don't have, it's not where everybody can't pay their rent. It's specific to people who work in certain industries or are were particularly afraid for valid reasons or invalid, whatever, but were more afraid. But it's not.
Exactly.
It's not universally widespread. So
Exactly.
yeah, interesting. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And
Help
the other
out
thing
the people
is,
who need
Jason-
it. Help out the people who need
Yes.
it.
Help out the people who need it, absolutely. But the other thing, Jason, is there is more rental assistance available right now than there was during COVID and the eviction moratorium at that time. There are churches, schools, municipalities, and lots of agencies stepping up. There are a lot of funds available to help those who need it. Obviously, somebody may be afraid to ask for help, but there is more programs available, and Jacob Fry's idea of making more money available honestly is the answer. Let's put the money into the funding of those who need it versus stopping everybody from being able to, having to pay their rent, because honestly, it creates a big hole to dig out from under and probably will wind up with more debt on the person's record or on the landlord's books. Landlord still has to pay for trash to be picked up, the lights to be on, the heat to be on. Your mortgage doesn't say, okay, I'm going to wait 60 days till everybody pays the rent. So
You don't get the moratorium for your bills.
No.
For sure. Angie,
Correct.
thank you. Good
Correct.
insight. Appreciate that. 651-461-9226. Lots of texts coming in. I've had enough of people driving 15 miles below the speed limit. Oh, more of your reaction. What you've had enough of when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Tell you what I've had enough of. I've had enough of having no choices when it comes to my insurance coverage. I've had enough of having to call my one insurance agent who has one company that they work with and beg to see if I can get a better deal. I've had enough of the uncertainty of knowing if I'm getting ripped off. Am I getting the best coverage for the best price? If you have had enough, the Canopy Group says they've had enough as well. The Canopy Group guarantees the best coverage at the best price. And that may be what you have right now, and they'll tell you when you reach out at 800-967-3389. They'll let you know. But when I reached out to that very phone number, and you can go to the website too, thecanopygroup.com, to get a quote, they took my deductible, my coverage, my zip code, my area code, our cars, our house, our family situation, our history, and they got me better coverage at a better price. I saved $820, and the beauty is that they run the numbers every single year. They have 16 companies at their disposal, not one. So they're running that comparison price for you year after year. It's automatic. You don't ever have to deal with it. Get peace of mind that you're getting the best deal possible. Do it at thecanopygroup.com.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing?
Sir, I'm just writing up a warning.
This make you feel like a big man? I didn't realize this would trigger a citywide crisis. Has the mayor been made aware?
Sir, I wasn't going to issue...
Yeah, just doing your job, huh? Oh, you're really stamping out crime, issuing parking tickets.
Well, I wasn't going to, but now I am. Have a nice day.
Honey, that's not even our car.
No, some people play golf. I do this.
If stirring the pot is your idea of fun, call us. We love a good debate. News Talk 830 WCCO.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Hi, it's Vanita, and we know how great the John Schuster Group is, but it's wonderful to hear from people who have benefited from that relationship. One of them is Ray from Minnetonka. Ray, thanks so much for joining us. Why did you choose the John Schuster Group?
At our first meeting with Tim and Abby Lehman, we clicked right away.
What was your experience like selling your home with the John Schuster Group?
It was incredibly simple. Our first day on the market, we got our first offer, and I was like, wow, we did get multiple offers, but we went with the first offer we got on Friday.
Okay, bottom line, why should every WCCO listener contact the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty, when it's time to move?
From the moment they walked into our home, we had nothing to worry about with them. We're just beyond our expectations. We just can't thank them enough.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Buy a home, sell a home, we'll get you moving. JohnSchusterGroup.com.
Terms and conditions may apply.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And brought to you by Linda's Construction, lindasconstruction.com. Crash cleared, South 94 near Highway 55. Things moving much better now as you make way through that part of downtown. West 94 still slow, though, between Cedar Avenue and the Lowry Hill Tunnel. Protect your home before spring storms arrive. Choose GAF Asphalt Shingles and receive free installation labor this March. Go to lindasconstruction.com. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
JTR Roofing tells us tonight it's going to be partly cloudy, low of 26. Tomorrow, rain turns to snow by evening. High of 46, low of 30, windy. Friday, partly cloudy and windy, high of 37. And we're watching if we're going to get hit by a heavier band, a thin band of snow, Saturday night into Sunday. Right now in Woodbury, you're looking at 38 and sunny on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRUSH. Video streaming live on YouTube and always on your radio at News Talk 830 WCCO.
Enough!
651-461-9226. What have you had enough of? We always appreciate our fans who are watching on video stream on YouTube, like Chris Miller, who said he's had enough of underwater farts. I think they smell worse than rags. Your thoughts? I feel like I don't hang out underwater enough to know for sure.
It's a fair point.
The lingering aspect of it is less when you're underwater. I don't know. Very interesting. Andrew says, I've had enough of polo bro work culture. Seriously, wear something more unique and personalized. The Skyways look like a clone factory. Andrew's right. Every corporate bro, because we've decided we have to be so individualistic and we can't wear a shirt and tie and a suit anymore, that we've just switched the uniform into the polo shirt. My son, Sam is going on a USC business trip to Thailand next week, and he needed some corporate-esque warm weather clothing. And I said, I'm like, you're not going golfing. So let's try to find something other, like at least find a polo that has some.
I mean, are you sure he's not going golfing? He could be going golfing.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Bangkok, but I don't believe that is the number one.
We were talking about earlier today people taking too long in public restrooms.
In the restroom, yeah.
And how people had enough of that. And so you suggested setting a timer and then ask what should happen.
Oh, yeah.
When that timer goes
Because
off.
we've had enough of people sitting on the can, surfing their phone while I'm trying to get in and have my turn.
And so has Sarah in Minneapolis, who says this is what should happen when the timer runs out.
Toilet paper should retract and your picture should be taken after the timer goes off.
Fair?
I like it.
Fair.
I like it.
I have two.
Okay.
Do you want the ridiculous one or do you want the really, really ridiculous one?
Let's go mild ridiculous.
Mild ridiculous. Mild ridiculous is I've had enough of the way that they've routed people to get onto 394 now that you're in these sane lanes. Because there's a very short way to get into them that I would usually take, but they've got that all cut off for no apparent reason. People are still coming from that end of town. But they run you down Hennepin, past the Basilica, and then over the river and through the woods just to get onto 394. It's ridiculous. I've had enough of it.
All right, give me the
really, really ridiculous
you
one.
Get 2 in a row.
Okay, the really, really ridiculous one is I've had enough of the changing temperatures. Let's just pick a spring or a winter and let's go with it. Because I got stuff in the pockets of my coats, and now I'm wearing different coats, and I'm forgetting to switch the stuff from the pockets of one coat over the other coat, and I don't have my stuff, and it's driving me crazy.
You know I have an issue with forgetting my key fob.
I do know that. Yeah.
Because often that is in a coat pocket, and the same thing is a real issue.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Traffic has been shifted on many streets in Minneapolis, texters say, to accommodate the bike lanes, which is why we have to drive over those manhole covers. Oh, I had not considered that. Enough of putting ever weirder things on hamburgers. Can't a burger just be itself anymore? Enough of the stoplights on Hiawatha. Oh, those lights stink. Free the traffic. Enough of me stealing Adam Carter's bit. Adam Carter's Stop It, or whatever, is a blatant ripoff of this segment. How dare you? We'll see you tomorrow.
Get ready for Oak and Ammo Bingo Bash with Duck